that's just all I ate growing up. And then going back to the question about the job, my first job was a paper route, and I helped my brothers when I was like 6 or 7 with theirs, and then I had my own at 11 years old. And then I went from paper routing to babysitting to waitressing to then working in traditional corporate America, then retail, and then back to corporate America before I officially launched my first business.
All right, so a couple things there. Yeah, we got to stop talking about food, because I'll be beating on your door here like tomorrow. Say, hey, you got anything extra? I'm your friend.
Come on over with some curry chicken.
I'm your friend. So but 6 or 7, you were helping with a paper route. That's awful young, isn't it?
Well, then you could have a paper route at 10, 11, 12 years old. And I had older brothers, and
they just took you with you?
Yeah, they hired myself and my younger brother. And let me tell you, this is going to go way back, so it might date me, but I remember at the end of the week, because you got paid by your tips that your customers would give you for dropping off their papers. And it was cash, and it wasn't a lot, but this is when there was still penny candy, right? You can still buy candy for a penny, 5 cents, 10 cents, right? So $1 was like 10 pieces of candy. That was a lot of money back then. And
that's 100 pieces.
Yeah, like, right, depending on the candy, right? The Tootsie Rolls. Yeah. And so my brothers, so at the end of the week, we go into the little foyer between our rooms, and we count the money. And a lot of customers, they tipped in quarters. And so my younger brother and I, he's 2 years younger than me, 2.5 years younger than me. And we were laying on the floor. We all were laying on the floor, like intently, as my older brothers counted the quarters. And then I remember my oldest one, he dropped 4 quarters in front of myself and in front of my younger brother. And he's like, here's your payment. And we just looked at each other with the brightest eyes, like, whoa, 4 quarters.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
So it didn't take much to get us working back then.
All right. So you're in a corporate situation.
Yep.
And so tell us about the transition. Did you just quit and then start your business, or did you save up money? Did you plan? How did you make the transition? Because a lot of people on here are sitting there in that cubicle or sitting at home now thinking, man, this is not for me. I want to get out of this mess.
Yeah, well, you know what? For a long time, I was heading down a very traditional path of becoming a doctor. And when I was in college, one of my professors, who was the chairman of the Department of Psychology, took me under his wing as a mentor and really thought I could impact the field of psychology in a great way. And so he then grew me to go into grad school. And so that was my path. I wanted to be a child psychologist. I wanted to help children, teens, young adults. And when I finished college, I took a year off and I worked in corporate. And that was when I had the aha moment of, oh my gosh, there has to be more to life than just the same routine of the 9 to 5. And especially when you're working for a cray-cray boss, which I had at the time. And even though I loved what I was doing, which was recruiting for the IT industry, which I probably should have stayed in, I would be like retired by now. But anyway, my boss was just out of her mind. And I started questioning myself. And I said, if I could do anything in the world, what would it be? And then fashion design popped in my head. Now, mind you, this is in the middle of Connecticut. I did not have any designers or artists around me. My father was very musical. His family's very musical. So he played instruments and he sang. And so I had that around me, but that was pretty much it from the artistic side and traditional artistic side. And so I really was like, whoa, where did that come from? My mother was always very stylish and really believed in quality, like finding quality pieces and having pieces that would last and looking your best whenever you would go step out the door. And so that absolutely impacted me. But I innately wanted to design and create clothes for women, like beautiful clothes for women. And so I took a leap of faith. I took an art course, and then decided to apply to design school. Now, this was at the same time that I was applying to grad school, because this was the plan, right? I worked for a year, then go to grad school. And so I got into grad school, full scholarship and a job offer. And so how could I refuse? Well, within days, I got accepted into all the fashion design programs I applied to.